Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back yet again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance video today, and today I'm giving you guys a no hype review on one of these new Byredo fragrances. It's not the latest fragrance from Byredo, but it is one of the 2022 releases of the brand, and this fragrance initially had a ton of hype, guys, and a lot of people do have expectations on this fragrance. But the thing that really made me want to try it and review it for you guys is the fact that this fragrance has a ton of conflicting mixed feedback that I thought, hey, why not make a no hype video and give you guys the full lowdown on this fragrance. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys, okay? Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to the channel. We are headed to 14,000 subscribers, guys, so keep up the support. I do appreciate you all. If you are into in-depth reviews of fragrances, guys, this is the spot to be. And the fragrance that we will be talking about today is none other than the 2022 release of Byredo Vanille Antique. Yes, Vanille Antique by Byredo. This fragrance is part of their Night Veils collection, and the last time I made a review on a Night Veils collection perfume was Tobacco Mandarin, guys. And Tobacco Mandarin, just like Vanille Antique, guys, the name is pretty straightforward, right? I mean, Tobacco Mandarin basically gave us Tobacco Mandarin. Now, looking at this Vanille Antique, this conjures up a few expectations, guys, that I had when it came to this fragrance. Number one, my expectation was that this fragrance, first and foremost, would have an abundance of really prominent vanilla, that it would have a prominent vanilla note, maybe even a double dose of vanilla. And of course, I do love vanilla, guys, especially in fragrances like Torino, and even well blended in like in fragrances like Imperium. I really do love vanilla, guys, and that's kind of what I expected from the get-go. And the second expectation that I had, of course, had something to do with the name still, and that is Antique, Vanille Antique. The antique right there made me think about, you know, something along the lines of Margiela's Whispers in the Library. And that fragrance right there really nailed it by giving us a really accurate depiction of an old dusty library, giving us some woody, dusty feels, guys. And I was thinking that this fragrance would have both of those, okay? Would have an overabundance of vanilla mixed with Whispers in the Library. If they had a baby, this would be it. But of course, at the same time, I expected more. Why? Number one, it's Byredo, and number two, this fragrance right here costs over $300, okay? Over $300, guys. And you know, when you're looking at something that costs like that, you kind of expect more, guys. So I really wanted to try this fragrance, guys, but this is kind of delayed, guys, because really in the beginning, what I saw were a lot of really, you could say, subjective biased reviews, okay? This is a new fragrance from Byredo, so initially you have a lot of people really speaking like that, talking like, hey, you know what, this is vanilla and Whispers in the Library together. A lot of people were really saying that. Well, when I tested this fragrance, not really. It's not even close to what you guys are saying. So I really let all the hype, you know, roll over and kind of settle down. And then, of course, as the hype settled down, we got a lot more objective reviews of this fragrance, and that's why it's kind of conflicting. And so here we are, guys. You know what? Let's just spray this thing right now and find out anyways. Okay, now let's talk about Byredo's Vanille Antique. And as you can see right here, this sample is done, okay? It means I've tried this extensively, so I can give you guys a no hype, no BS approach on this review. Now, this fragrance right here, for a lot of people that were saying, this is a vanilla blend, this is vanilla and Whispers in the Library, or this is Margiela's Fireplace. No way. You gotta be kidding me. There is no way that that is the case in this fragrance. And if you look at the opening notes, you've got freesia and plum. Freesia and plum. And I will say this, there is an early appearance of amber here in the beginning, but that's besides the point. Freesia is the very dominant note. A very, very dominant note right here in the beginning. Freesia is an airy, sweet, sometimes strawberry smelling floral note, guys. That's kind of powdery and airy. And this is what starts off this fragrance. And this freesia, which is light and airy, is eventually coupled by a fruity plum note. Okay, so plum comes in to add fruitiness to an already existing sweet and airy freesia note. Okay, guys, so right from the get-go, you are not gonna get that curve that you expected. A lot of people probably expected a curve from the plum or the vanilla or the labdanum, but of course you do not get that here in the opening. You are going to get a sweet, airy freesia note mixed with a fruity plum. Okay, kind of like a second dimension to that fruity, floral, airy freesia. So that right there, guys, makes this totally different, guys. And I would say that this is the risk that maybe Byredo took, because you know what, guys, I think nowadays with so many fragrances coming out, I think that these houses really have that kind of dilemma. It's like, do we make a fragrance that people expect, but then at the end of the day, they're gonna be like, oh, it's not new. Oh, it's the same. I've smelled this before. It's not groundbreaking. Or do we make a fragrance with something different and take a risk, but at the same time, you'll have people say, oh, you know what? That was a little bit different than I expected. And so this opening right here, I would say, is the most quote unquote different part of this fragrance from anybody's expectations, because hey, nobody really expects that freesia note with some plum. And I will say this, guys, that this part does not go away so easily. This is actually a powerful projecting part of this fragrance. And right now, as I've sprayed this, guys, I can really feel that. And this part really lasts probably an hour and a half to 2 hours of the fragrance right here. You're gonna get airy sweetness with some plum, no curves, more of like an airy projecting note right here, guys, with that fruitiness of the plum. And I know that for a lot of y'all that love plum fragrances with curved notes, you're not gonna get that here, guys. The plum is basically a second dimension to that strawberry kind of smelling freesia right there. Now, about 2 hours in, it gets ambery. And this is another stage of Vanille Antique that I'm pretty sure a lot of people did not expect. It's that abundance of amber in this fragrance right here. And it will get ambery right here in the mid. You are gonna get that honeyed sweet amber. And the interesting thing right here, guys, is because the amber is a sweet note and the freesia plum combination is also a sweet note, you are going to get basically a seamless transition into the amber right here. You might not even detect the change, guys, but all you'll smell is this sweetness pretty much transition into that honeyed amber right there. Now, 2 hours in, guys, you are also going to get the cashmere wood accord, guys. Okay, and cashmere wood is usually a combination of woody notes and musk. Okay, so you usually have a powdery musk with woody notes. And right here at this mid is when I thought this fragrance was gonna become more of like a whispers in the library type of thing, because you can really put a dry cedar note, maybe some pepper like whispers in the library, and then some powdery musk to really recreate that dusty library feel. But guess what? I really did not get that here, guys. Why? Because of the abundance of that amber. The amber part of this fragrance is still gonna go strong into the mid, and basically the woody musky notes right here that really create that cashmere wood accord is just basically a base to that amber, but it doesn't overcome the amber to create kind of like that whispers in the library feel. So right here, really, I didn't feel too much of that antique feel. All I felt was, hey, it's amber, musk, and woods, which is, again, it threw away all my expectations out the window. Now, if you wait a little longer, that cashmere woods accord will eventually intensify as the amber becomes a little bit weaker as time goes. So the amber starts strong, sweet. Again, you won't feel the difference really from that freesia and plum. You won't feel that transition really relevant. It'll be really seamless. and then you've got cashmere woods that will eventually intensify on hour 3 and hour 4. Now on hour 4, finally, we do get some vanilla intensifying right here, guys. But let me tell you this, guys, that this vanilla is accompanied still by labdanum. Okay, so labdanum is right here on the base notes. It is still going to be a leather and ambery note, but this one right here, to me, I would say that the labdanum is much darker, much more a base note rather than the sweet honeyed amber version that we got right here in the mid, and it is coupled with that vanilla. And I would say right here in the 4th hour and beyond is when you can really experience that vanilla that you've been waiting for mixed with that labdanum, guys. Okay, so that is the scent progression of Vanille Antique, and for me, guys, wow, that was really different, guys, and it's not what I expected at all. I thought that it was going to be as simple as Whispers in the Library, dry, woody, and peppery mixed with an overabundance of maybe Madagascar vanilla. But this fragrance right here, I would say, is a sweet, fruity, and amber concoction, okay, with some woods eventually at some point, guys. But this one is going to be totally different, guys. And in my opinion, when it comes to this fragrance, I think that you should test this fragrance, and you should test it without any expectations, without any preconceived notions based on the name. I was pretty shocked because Tobacco Mandarin was pretty straight up, you know. A lot of Byredo's fragrances, I mean, the titles are an enigma, but sometimes when they do give you guys something straight up like Tobacco Mandarin, that's precisely what they give you guys, okay? So this one right here, totally different. And in my opinion, although this is a unisex fragrance, guys, this could possibly lean femme. This could possibly lean femme, and that's because of that freesia opening with that fruity plum mixed with eventual honeyed amber, guys. I guess if they put more labdanum into this, or maybe more woods, it would be a little bit more masculine, but in my opinion, this fragrance kind of leans femme and is unisex right here. And also what's interesting about this fragrance is that although this is a fall winter fragrance and there is amber and vanilla in this fragrance, guys, this isn't a curved fragrance. And this is kind of like my own terminology. When you have thick base notes, usually amber, honey, vanilla, or plum, that blanket over, like oud for example, that blanket over the other notes that are supposed to be airy and bright. So this one right here is not a curved type of perfume. The notes are actually free to become airy and to linger around, such as the plum and the freesia, and the amber right there in the mid is kind of like a glistening amber. It's not really a dark leathery amber like labdanum in the end. This fragrance to me is a fall winter fragrance, but it's also an outdoor applicable fragrance right there. It's not just like an indoor one where you kind of wear it to become cozy, but it is also a fragrance that you can wear outside and have really good feels as you smell, you know, fruitiness, sweetness, powderiness from this fragrance right here. Performance wise, this fragrance right here, Vanille Antique, performs pretty much like any other fragrance, guys. Starts off strong and then it kind of goes into lingering, and then it becomes a draw-in scent once it hits the base notes right here. Now longevity wise, this fragrance is pretty decent, guys. I would say 10 to 11 hours total on this fragrance with decent sprays. It is not a strong projector, guys, but in terms of the longevity, significant scent, it is pretty long lasting, guys. And that's probably because of the sweetness, the sensation of really smelling that sweetness go on and on with vanilla, amber, plum, freesia, you know, that whole deal going on and on makes this fragrance a pretty long lasting 9 to 10 hour fragrance right here. Now, is this a fragrance that is blind buy worthy? The answer is no, guys. Okay, in my opinion, this is not blind buy worthy. You must try this fragrance first. And if you do decide to get this fragrance, guys, by getting samples or going to the store to try it, in my opinion, bring a lady with you. Bring your lady, bring your wife, bring your girlfriend, bring your sister, someone, because I think the women will truly get a kick out of this fragrance right here, guys. Throw away the name Vanille Antique and put in a sweet ambery fragrance with some fruitiness and some airiness from the freesia, and this fragrance could be your next Christmas gift to your, female loved ones right here. I think that they will get a kick out of this. But if you have that expectation, like I said, of vanilla plus whispers in the library, I guarantee you it is not here at all in this fragrance. This is a totally different fragrance, guys, that I was shocked to try. And so here I am telling you this, guys, just in case you had the same expectations as mine. All right, so that is it. That is my review of Byredo's Vanille Antique. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance. I mean, did you guys initially believe the hype, the first hype on this fragrance, guys? And then eventually when you tried it, you were like, what are they talking about? If you guys were in the same shoes as I am, let me know in the comments below, guys. And if you can smell a lot of the vanilla, let me know as well. Again, there are no right and wrong answers. This is just my simple no hype breakdown of this fragrance. I throw away the hype, I try it, and I tell you guys what I get, guys. All right, so that is it, and I will see you guys on the next video. Again, please do not forget to like and subscribe. And again, thank you so much. We're headed to 14K, hopefully before 2023. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.